Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'm doing my top 5 favourite archetypes for Metaphor Refantazio. Now, with Metaphor, I'm going to be calling the game Metaphor so that I won't have to say the full title of the game a bunch, but with Metaphor, it's similar. The structure of it is similar to Persona, in that you've got like a character or a bunch of characters who can use a particular ability, and with Persona, it's the character's personas, but with Metaphor, it's with their archetypes. And in Metaphor, you can have your party use a variety of different archetypes, and it's not just the main character that can use multiple. And that's a really cool idea for how you can mix and match your party or your team, because you can have like one that's a healer, one that's a tank, one that's uses magic, one that uses physical attacks and stuff like that. So this video is going to be me talking about some of my favourite archetypes that you can use in this game, and there will be spoilers, especially for like late game stuff. So if you haven't played Metaphor yet, I highly suggest you do. It's a really, really fun game. So yeah. So for number 5, it's the Prince archetype. Now this one is one of the last ones you get in the game, and this is basically, you get it once you figured out, or once the plot twist that reveals that the prince, the person you're trying to save throughout the entire game, is actually you, in the sense that, what I mean is, towards the end of the game, there's a twist that you are actually the prince, but he created you through magic, and and throughout the whole course of the game, you're trying to save yourself, which is an interesting plot twist. And yeah, and once you kind of like regain your memories, that sort of thing, you get the prince archetype, and the design of it is quite interesting. I do like the flowing hair, and I do like how it's like got like this giant sword spear axe thing, which is quite cool. And yeah, and it's basically the last archetype you get. And what I like about it is that it's basically just, for the prince one specifically, you do get other ones for their different real party, which is quite cool. But with the one you get for the main character, what I like about it is that one of the moves, well, it's got like moves that can that can do a lot of damage against humans, but also it's got a move that can allow you to do some extra turns, which is quite useful, especially if you're going against like harder enemies, that sort of thing, or bosses, that sort of thing. So yeah, for number 4 is the Masked Dancer. Now with this archetype, what I like about it is that it's mainly the way you can use it, because with the Masked Dancer, its ability, or one of its abilities, is that you can switch out masks with it. So you can have like, I think there's a fool mask, there's like a priestess mask, and a variety of other masks that's based on like, the tarot cards. And I think there's a few others. And what I like about that is that it gives the Masked Dancer the qualities of that particular mask that you've given it. So it might be, if for one mask it gives you the abilities of like wind and fire attacks, but also you might be weak against ice attacks, or you might resist physical attacks, that sort of thing. And yeah, I do like its designs. Like, you've got the Masked Dancer, and you've got the other one. I forgot the other one. The second one you get for, I think it's Summoner. I could be wrong. And yeah, with the Masked Dancer, it's really cool, just because of what you can do, or how you can use it to try and like get through the game. So yeah, for number 3 is the Knight. Now, what I like about this one is that it's basically sort of like the sort of more tanky archetypes in the game, in that, and it also can do some physical damage as well. And what I like about that is that it's one of its abilities is that it can make all enemies hit that particular person. So, for example, if you're fighting against a bunch of enemies, like let's say 4 to 5 enemies, and you use the ability that makes the enemies target you. All of those enemies will just target that one person, and then then the person who has the knight archetype they will take damage, but depending on what armor and gear they have, they probably won't take as much damage. So the knight archetype is one of those ones that can really help you if you're fighting it off against bosses. And then later on, with one of the last archetypes for the knights you can get, is that one of its abilities is that it can block out, I think, any and all skills apart from almighty attacks, which is really useful, and especially if you want to like fight, especially when it comes to like more tougher bosses, because there might be a boss that might deal a lot of damage, and you might like get a lot of game overs. So using that sort of ability is really, really useful, and I think the knight archetype as a whole is really cool. For number 2 is the thief archetype. Now with this one, I mainly like this one because of how it is useful, but if you want to get like, because it's one of those ones that basically can insta win you a particular like battle, for example. But also, it's very, very useful for the overworld, because when I was trying to like go through one of the last dungeons in the game, the enemy levels from where I was like late 40s, early 50s, compared to the enemies, they were like 60s-ish, late 50s, early 60s when it came to the levels of the enemies I was fighting. And so I kind of like, for how to like level up and stuff better, I saw that the thief archetype has a particular ability that can steal items from enemies if they're stunned, if you stun them in the overworld. And yeah, and when I did it, it can do it to a lot of enemies, but there's like a particular enemy during a certain side quest in the late game that you can use to get like items that can help you level up your archetypes a lot better. And yeah, it's such a really cool archetype, and I think it does get cooler because like you've got the thief, then you've got the assassin, and then you've got the ninja, or it's either the ninja then the assassin. But I think as a whole, it's a really cool way of just doing a sort of like rogue-like character ability thing. And yeah, as a whole, it's a really, really fun ability. And if you've ever wanted to use the pickpocketing ability, you should really use it because it's very, very useful when it comes to like stunning enemies in the overworld. And for number 1 is the healer archetype. Now, this archetype is probably one of the best ones in the game, mainly due to its healing abilities. Obviously, that's the name of the archetype. And what I like about this one is that, like in other games, like in games like Persona, you will get personas, or you have a particular party member that can deal healing skills. So, like skills that can heal a portion of your party mates by a bit, then it's like moderately, and then a whole lot. And I think that's what the healer does best, because it just, the more you do in terms of like, you've got the healer, then you've got the next one, then you've got the final one, which I believe is the cleric. They all get like better and better when it comes to their healing skills. And also, I think they also get some light magic as well, which is quite cool. And yeah, as a whole, it's just a really, really cool ability, or a really cool archetype. And I think you should always have the cleric, or have someone with the cleric on your party, just in case you're fighting off against a boss or something. Like, if it's like a really difficult boss, I really suggest you get a healer archetype for your party. Then that means it will make the fight a lot better, and I think run a lot more smoothly, because you can use healing items, but I think the healer archetype is really good when it comes to its healing skills. So yeah, so that's been my top 5 favorite archetypes from Metaphor. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.